Hello everyone, you're welcome to the first video on solving business problem using data analysis. And in this first video, we want to look at customer segmentation and behavior analysis. As we have learned in the introductory video, customer segmentation and behavior analysis is very important to understand how your customers behave in terms of how they purchase your products, and also the revenue that is generated from your product, and also in terms of how recent they purchased the product. So in this data set that we are going to be using, this is a data set on online retail stores, and we have more than 160,000 records of this data. So it shows the products that were ordered or purchased by different customers from that website. Each order has an invoice number along with the product's stock code, and then also the quantity, the invoice date, the month, number, year, period, down to the continent. So these are all different columns. Now when we talk about customer segmentation, we are going to look at how recently customers make a purchase, how often does a customer make a purchase, and then how much does the customer spend in total. So these are the parameters we use to determine customer behavior and also customer segmentation. To do that, I would right click and I'll copy this particular data set. I'll need to insert a pivot table into a new worksheet. Okay, so we are here. Now there are several columns we would be needing for this, and I would need the invoice number, I would need the invoice date, I would need the revenue, and then the customer ID, which is very key. So we go to the pivot table, and then first of all we need the customer ID. Customer ID, will put it in the row. Then I need the invoice date. Okay. Then I need the invoice number. And also the revenue. So with this invoice dates, I'll determine the recency. With the invoice number, I'll determine the frequency. And then with the revenue, I'll determine the monetary. So first of all, I'll go to the design and I'll click on show in tabular form. The grand total, I'll switch it off for rows and columns. So this is okay. Now what I want to do is, instead of this count of invoice dates, I want to set it to the max. So I'll come to this part and then I'll click on this place, value feed settings. I'll click on that. Then I'll go to max. Beautiful. So can you see that? So I also want to work on this. I need to remove this something. Okay. Then I'll need to remove the count. The figures that are here, I need to change it. I don't want it to be in dollars. Okay, so I'll highlight it this way using the Control Shift plus down arrow, and then I'll go to the currency. Should I turn it to a number? Yes, I should turn it to a number. So let's leave it at a number. decimal place. No, let me make it a whole number. Yeah, so this is the currency. Now what I'll do next is I would need to highlight this column, this table. And I highlight it this way, Control C. I'll create a new table, menu sheet, and then I'll paste. Now, in pasting, I would come here and I can still work with this. I was just trying to ensure that the entire pivot table is removed. So I'll right click and then I'll click on the values. Beautiful. So let's go here and convert this into a date. Beautiful. So now the next thing I want to do, I want to create new records or new columns, and with this I'll call this recency days, and then this I'll call this frequency, and then this I'll call this monitoring. Okay, so let's determine the frequency, the recency days. So in order to determine the recency days, I'll say equal to today minus these dates. Okay, so I'll come to the home tab and then I'll change this into a number. I'll reduce it this way and I'll flash view. Beautiful. So we've been able to determine the recency days. Now the next step that I want to do is to check for the frequency. So we are assigning the frequency score. Now when we come to this frequency, we are looking at the count. Let's go forth and highlight this first. We'll click on data. Let's see the invoice number. These are the unique records in the data. So I need to create a range. Let me call these bins. A range of bins that will take in these unique values. So I can see that the highest number here is 40,311, and then the lowest here is 1. So let's go. So let's say this will be 40,311. I want to assign this the score of 5, and then let me also check it again to be very, very sure. Okay, we have 2000. Okay, so let's go forward and then we'll say from 1000 to 2500. I want it to have a frequency score of 4. Then from 500 to 999, I want it to have a frequency score of 3. And from 201 to 499, I want it to have a frequency score of 4. Then from 0 to 200, I want to have a frequency score of 5, of 1. So this will be 2. Okay, so This is for frequency score. Now, the next thing I want to do is to check for the beams for the monitoring. So let's go forth and see. I'll need to make this to be a whole number. Okay, Control Shift and downward arrow. Then we have this whole number. So let's see. So this starts from 0. Then this is the highest value. Okay. So let's go forth and do that. Now this value seems to be a bit on the high side, like an outlier. In Excel, there's what we call, or in data analysis, there's what we call outliers. Outliers are values that are very, very high, higher than normal. So I'll need to delete that. I'll click on delete and make changes. Okay, let me delete this then. Okay. So let me go forth and I would need to rearrange this invoice number then. Okay, so the reason why it's showing blanks is because it is still within the same sheet with this pivot table. So the only thing, there are two ways. I would either need to create a new sheet and copy this into the new sheet. Okay, so if you come and check, you will not see it again. Can you see? There are no more blanks. So that is how you're able to walk your way around that. So now, since it is like that, that means I will need to make an adjustment to my recency bins. Okay, so this will be 1,500 to 2,500. We'll assign this to be 5. Let's say 950 to 1,499. We'll assign this to be 4. 500 to 949. We'll assign this 3. And then 201 to 499 we'll assign this 2. 0 to 200 we'll assign this 1. Okay, so this is for the frequency. Now we want to go and check for the revenue or the monetary. So the highest number here is this, 87,374. So in order to determine that, I would say this will be, let's say, from 50,000 to 100,000. We make it 6. Okay, make it 5. And then here we would say 20,000 to 4,999. We'll make it 4. And then here we would say 5,000 to 19,999. make it to be 3. And then from here we'll say 1000 to 499, make it to be 2. Then 0 to 999, make it to be 1. So you can see, so these are all the different beans. So I'll call these the monitoring bean. And then I'll call this the frequency bean. Okay. Now we want to determine the recency bean. So when I click on the filter, the recency days started from, that is the nearest. Okay, now we are not dealing with how big the recency is. No, we are checking for how close to today the customer purchased our products. So that means the customer who purchased there is a customer who purchased closer to today will be given top priority. And you can see the difference between today and the last day. The highest is, the one at the top is 4,819, while the farthest, okay, is 5,192. We are going to work in reverse order. So in order to do that, I'm going to assign this, and then I'll say this will be 4814 to 4864. I'll assign it 5. Then 4865 to 4915. I'll assign it 4. And then 4916 down to 4966. I'll assign it 3. 4967 to 5117. I'll assign it 2. And then 5118 to 5187. I'll assign it to be 1. So these assignments to the RFM score, I take them in the same interval. So the same interval here is the same interval here. The same year is the same year. So I try to make sure that the differences are the same. So I'll call this the recency bean. So we are done with that step. Now we want to assign the RFM scores. Okay, we want to assign the RFM scores. So I'll come here and I'll write this recency. Okay, so we have the frequency, we have the monitoring, and then we have the recency. So in this case, I'll be using the if and to assign the recency, the frequency, and the monitoring. So this is equal to if. So the logical text will be if we are starting with the recency bean. So we say if E3 is less than what? It's less than 4864. So the value if true would be this. And then I'll have to put in the dollar sign. Now if false, then I'll use the if and. Okay, so the if and has multiple logical statements. So what I'll do is I'll say if E3 once again is less than. Okay, so is less than or is greater than. In this case, I'll say is greater than 4865, comma, and then E2 once again, or E3 is less than 4915. Okay, so if it's less than this, what then should be the value if true? So the value if true would be this, and then I'll put in the dollar sign. Then I'll use the if and again. If and, so we pass in the logical statement. We go to the third bin. If and E3 once again is greater than 4916 and E3 is less than 4966. So the value if true would be this. Then I'll put in the dollar sign. Okay, now the next is if and we come to the fourth bin. E3 is greater than 4967 less than 5.7. What will be the value if true? This will be this, and then I'll put in the dollar sign. Okay, and then the value if false would be 1. So I'll start closing this by the number of times that it opened. This 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. Then I'll click on enter. Beautiful. Can you see that? So I'll flash view. Beautiful. So we've gotten the frequency score. Oh, I think this is recency. Little. Frequency. Okay, so now we'll come to find out the frequency using the if and once again. So this will be equal to if. So the logical text is frequency has to do with how frequent that the customer bought the goods. So for this customer, it was just 1. So this is C3. Now in this case, the customer that is greater than 1,500 will be assigned the frequency score of 5. Greater than 1,500 is assign the frequency score of 5. So I'll put in $sign. Then I'll use the if and. So once again, C3 is greater than 950. This is the second bin. Then C3 once again is less than 1499. What is the value if true? This is 4. I'll put in the $sign. Now the value if false, this will be equals to if and. So we'll go to the third bin. If and C3 is greater than 500, and then it is C3 once again is less than or equal to. I'm supposed to put equal to here, also here. Okay, so now C3 is greater than 500. We are on the third bin. C3 is greater than 500 and less than 949. So the value if true is this. So put the $sign. So the value if false, if and C3 once again is greater than or equal to 201. Then C3 is less than or equal to 499. Value if true would be this. I'll pass in the $sign. Then the value if false would be this. Okay, so we'll come here and then we'll close. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can enter. Beautiful. So let's go forth and control all this so you can see. So that is for the frequency score. I want to go to the monetary score. So in order not to really waste much time, so I'll just copy this since they are one and same. I'll paste it here. Then I'll come forth and then I'll edit. So instead of C column, where is the invoice number? So we are dealing with the monetary. So the monetary will be on the revenue column. So that is D. Okay, so D now. Let me also go forth and D is greater than 50,000. 0 and 0. So assign it same 6. Yes. So this is D also is greater than 20,000, and then is less than 4,999 this way, and then this is still D, and then we have D is greater than 5,000, and then less than 199. Okay, so this is the third bin, and then the fourth bin, D once again, is greater than 1,000, and then it's less than 4,999. This, so I'll assign it to, and then this. So let's run this. Beautiful. So you can see, I'll right click this. Okay, so now since we have done that, now the next thing I want to do is to get the RFM scores. So I want to get the RFM scores for all of them. So in order to do that, I'll use the concat function. I'll do equals concat. So I'm concatenating this and this and this. Beautiful. So you can see that. So as it is, this is not a numeric value. Okay, so you can see this is, or these are numeric values. So because numeric values are tilted to the right hand side of the cell, but in this case it is tilted to the left. So these are actually numbers, but then they are in the data type of text. So I'll just highlight this, and then please, I would want you to go to watch my video on how to convert numbers that are existing as text into real numbers. So I'll go with one of the method, which is to use the home tab, and then at the home I'll go to data, text to column, and I'll click on next, next, and finish. Okay, so now let's confirm. This will be equal to, let's say, product of this and this, of this, comma, this. That's not supposed to be so. Okay, so I'll need to move this. There will be no error. Okay, so I would need to use another method, which will be equal to the value function, and then this is it. So if one method does not work, you use other methods. Beautiful. So this is RFM score. Pause. So with this, we have gotten a headway to how customers are behaving. Now I want to filter. Let's see what this looks like. So you can see it has been categorized into this. So it's very, very wonderful. Now, the next we want to do now is to actually use these RFM scores to split the customers into best customers, loyal customers, potential churns. Okay, those who they look like they are leaving our business, and then customers that are lost. Okay, so we want to categorize them. So now, in order to categorize them, I'll need to set up another bin for the RFM scores. So in this case, I would want to, or is there any need? Let me check this out. I'm coming. So the list is 111, and then the highest is 554. So I think I can work with certain numbers here. I can work with certain numbers here. So let's go and see what we can do. At least we have those starting with ones, those starting with twos, those starting with threes, fours, and fives. So we'll see what we can be able to do. So let's go. So we say this is we'll call this customer segmentation. Okay, so we are saying equals using the if function. So we say if this is greater than or equal to 544, we want you to label them as best customers. Okay, and then value if false, if once again J3 is greater than or equal to 433, we want you to label them as loyal customers. Let's name this loyal customer. I'll remove the S here. And then if J3 is greater than or equal to 211, I want you to label them as risk churn customer. And then value if false will be lost customers. So we'll close this, close this, close this, and beautiful. So you can see, wow. So we have successfully been able to see or to segment our customers. We've been able to segment our customers. Let me filter this. Beautiful. So if I want to see our best customers, I'll click on this and beautiful. So these are the best customers. So customer ID 14096, customer ID 14911, and customer ID 17841. So if as an organization you want to present gift, or you want to present an award to possibly the best performing, customer, or those who have actually helped your business to grow, you have them here. And then you also check on those who are loyal, because they are the next in line. They have been loyal to you over the years. You can see they are very, very much that are very loyal to the organization. So you can see that So then we also have those that are lost. So quite a number of them are lost. So you can see all of that. So these are the numbers that are lost. Let's see those that are risk churn, those that are almost leaving the company. So you can see. So that is how you can be able to segment and analyze your customers and also see how they behave towards your services. So I would need to delete this. Okay, so what can we do? We can create a pivot chart out of this. So I'll do Control A, and then I want to insert. Let me go to sheet 3. Let me see if there's anything here. Let me use this point. Beautiful. So with this now, we can be able to see those that are performing. Then I want customer segmentation. Okay, no, that does not tell well at all. So let me see customer segmentation. Best loyal customers, and then let me just see the invoice number. This will be the count. No, not the count. Not the sum. I need the count. Okay. So let's go and remove grand total. Beautiful. So instead of count of this, we want it a number of records. Yeah, let's use number of records. So we can be able to see this. So if we can create a bar chart out of this pivot chart, so we can use this. Okay. So you can see our best customer. They are just very few, and hide all button fields. Remove this, and give us the labels. Also remove this. So you can see. So this is customer segmentation. So you can see. So this is how you are able to do or to perform customer segmentation and behavior analysis in Microsoft Excel. So with this, you can be able to know which and how your customers are actually behaving. So we can sort these from largest to smallest. Let's see. Let me sort it in reverse order, smallest to largest. Beautiful. So you can see, so those who are the loyal customers, they are more than every other customer. So even those who are lost are few compared to the loyal customer. So this is quite a positive review for your organization or for your business. So if you have stayed with me till this point, I want to appreciate you, and hope to see you in my next video, which is on sales performance analysis. See you there.